Hi everyone, this is Gary Berman, host of the Cyber Hero Adventure Show, coming to you from Reagan International Airport. So if you hear some announcements, that's what that is. And we have a very, very special briefing today with Dr. Georginanna Shea, who's going to share with us some of the key takeaways from an amazing event. Georgianna, or also George, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Recent testimony with Director Wray from the FBI was there, and he said that China has something like a 50-to-1 cybersecurity personnel advantage over the United States. Whatever the order of magnitude, it's significant. There was quite a bit of discussion yesterday, and also in your report about workforce development. Can you share with us a little bit about that?
Yeah, but just on that point, there was a briefing I had seen years ago, and by years ago, 10, 15 years ago, it was a while ago. It was called Shift Happens, and it was all about, that's what the S-H-I-F-T happens, Shift Happens, and it was all about the statistics of China. So like for every, I don't know, I forgot the exact number, so I'm going to make them up. For every honor student we have in the country, they have 1,000 honor students.
Wow.
For every person, they have like 10,000 people. So just the sheer numbers of people, it kind of goes back to my earlier point about the level of effort we put into like pen testing our systems. For every one person pen testing our systems, they have 100 people, 1,000 people, I don't know the numbers, to dedicate their everyday job
towards that.
To penetrate that
Well,
system.
that's an interesting sort of point. I was doing an interview with Admiral Montgomery just earlier, and we talked about this, and he said, well, but it's also quality, that our people, are better. However, he said at some point, just the sheer sort of law of numbers or that kind of thing, your advantages can be diminished.
I'm not going to argue that we're better or not better, but I will state that, and again, I don't know the numbers off the top of my head if you look at the statistics on how systems are compromised, and they're usually compromised through basic cyber hygiene not being followed, which is not an advanced attack.
Isn't that something?
It's I used a default password.
Wrong phishing.
Someone clicked on a link. So even if you're the most sophisticated system or the most sophisticated defense group, you always have humans in the loop. So your system becomes susceptible.
Yeah. You use the word shift, S-H-I-F-T, left. There's also one of your recommendations, to paraphrase, kind of a shift up, to be able to get alignment from CEOs and from board members. Can you amplify that a little bit?
Sure. So I find that, especially in cybersecurity, everyone sort of lives in their own sector, their own ecosystem of cyber. So if you're in healthcare, you're following HIPAA. If you're under the Defense Industrial Base, you're following RMF. But when you get into energy, water, a lot of these organizations are privately owned. So it's not a government organization that owns your water company. Yeah. So if there's going to be some type of big national attack or something on energy, water, and I keep saying energy and water because those are two very critical things that we need. Those are privately owned and operated, so you're going to have some, cooperation, understanding, and relationship, some public-private partnership between government and private industry to ensure that you're addressing the issue and you're finding that way to be resilient.
It seems, frustrating, I think, to many people, that we haven't made more progress on P3, public-private partnerships. This is something that is easy to understand but hard to implement. Is that a fair assessment? Or things are better, I guess?
Things are better. I think it's become a more common term, the public-private partnership, 3P. We have our ISACs that are helping incorporating that with a lot of the different sectors. I'm sure it's not easy, but it's a continual improvement process.
Yeah, it's sort of like breaking down the silos, which is one of your recommendations or topics that you talk about. Maybe you can help our audience as we're beginning to wrap up here. How do you do that? How do you break down silos and develop trust?
I don't know how you develop trust amongst. I look more at the technology side. Right. So it's not in the paper, but I'm looking at technologies that help ensure trust. So you can share information like zero knowledge proofs. So zero knowledge proofs can help people have information without sharing the private information.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, so it's a way to trust the process without having to see the actual data.
But the thing about that is the criminals or threat actors couldn't care less. They're horizontally structured. Mm-hmm. They share information freely. They encourage it,
right.
And stuff like that. How do the defenders, who are vertically structured more or less because of intellectual property or competition or the patchwork of global, federal, state regulatory frameworks?
Right.
So,
yeah, they're going to have to incorporate those, if not non-disclosure agreements, sharing agreements, partnerships. They're going to have to use those technologies that then protect the information, because there's a liability that's there with your GDPR, your PHI, your PII. There's a ton of information that just by law they're not allowed to share.
Dr. Georginanna Shea at fdd.org. And as I said, we'll have a place that people can download the report. On behalf of a grateful digital universe, thanks for who you are and for what you do, and most importantly, why you do it.
Thank you.